Hey, welcome back. So for in this tutorial, what we are going to do is to see how you can modify the flow of your chatbot differently for two different users. So for example, um, a female comes to your chatbot and talks to your chatbot, and your chatbot will redirect them by asking their gender to a different flow. And when a male comes to your chatbot, the chatbot will take him to a different chatbot flow. We do not only want to do it just once because that is very easy and possible through with the help of quick replies. We know that, but we want to go one step further and remember the gender of the user for the future references and make use of it when we are taking the user to a different story based on his gender. So let's do that. For this, first refresh the concept of data store. Remember, we created a data store for the dairy and we make it milk, egg, and bread, and we set it up type user attributes, which means that the chatbot was storing our preference of dairy in our user attributes. So let's make a data store of gender and fill out two values like male and female, and I will store it as data attribute, and then I will create this data store. So my gender attribute has been created. Let's go and create a new story. So my chatbot will be starting the conversation saying, let's say, suggest me something intelligently. And I will remove this text message for now and I will use this condition. And this condition will give me ability to take my user based on his gender or any other user attribute. For example, if gender equals to male, my user can take him to a different story which is only specific to the male suggestion or male items. If my gender equals to female, I can take the user to a different story which is specifically about female items. And you can do that for story or you can do it for video blogs. It's totally your call. So let's do that. And before we create this intelligent story, let me create two stories, each for male and female and their items. So I have created two stories. One is male suggestion and female suggestion. Each story have a very bogus response, something like, I think female like jewelry and male one has, I think male like shoes. So let's go ahead and set up these two stories in our intelligent suggestion story. I'll type the same question here and remove the text block once again and use the condition here. I'm setting up the gender equals to male to redirect to male suggestion story. I will click on create and that will create this block here with a condition of gender equals to male. Let's click on plus icon and add one more condition, gender equals to female, and that takes to female suggestion. So this way you can keep on adding more if and else conditions. And remember that there is always a fallback case when none of these conditions match. You can define a story or video blog for that as well. So let me show the red shoes in case there is no match. Let's save this story for now. If I try this story in my test chatbot window, the chatbot will see whether I am a male or female. But this time, because it's the first time I am using this suggestion, the chatbot does not know whether I'm a male or female. That's why it is going to a fallback condition. Now there are two ways that you can use to store the data to the user attribute, like the gender data. Whether you are setting this data manually with the help of user attribute data, the last icon on the left hand side. So I will say something like I am male. At any point in the conversation where you find out that this particular user is a male, so you will be setting this gender attribute to be male. That's it. Let's save this story and let's create one more story for I am female. Now I say I am male. My chatbot will not answer me because I did not set up any answer for this, but my chatbot has set up the or added my user attribute as male. My chatbot now know that this particular user is male. Now let's say and try this, suggest something intelligently and see whether our chatbot recognizes us, and it does. Now let's try and say I am female. My chatbot will store my gender as female, and if I type the same thing like suggest me something intelligently, this time my chatbot will understand that I'm a female. So this is how you can use user attribute to store the user specific data, and also you can make different conditions within your chatbot to take or decide the user which story will be shown to that particular user based on its attributes. So you can decide that on runtime basically. Um, the last thing that I wanted to go over is the second way where you can the way you can store the user attribute data. So remember that we created one conversational form. Let me edit that form and add one more field of gender in this form. And my chatbot is asking what is your gender. And while my user is selecting whether he's a male or female, what I can do is go to settings, advanced settings, and check this mark. With the help of this, my chatbot will store the gender attribute as either the male or female selection by the user, and it will store this forever. And you can always check the user attributes by going into bot users. If you go and show attributes, you will see all the attributes for that particular user in this user attributes list. So that's how you will be building your dynamic conversations with the help of conditions. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this may be a little bit technical, but feel free to go over it again and again and ask questions if you have any in the comments. And do subscribe our channel. See you in the next video.